Xin chào everybody, welcome back. You're watching Vietnam Steve, and I got a good one for you today. Really wanted to spend a bit of time talking about some of the things you can do in retirement to make a bit of extra cash or ease up the expense regime you're on. And this is particularly for those people that have chosen to slow travel, or in particular spend some time in foreign locales. It's not really designed for the fast traveller or the digital nomad. So before I get started, I've had a lot of comments on the channel. It's really been going off, which is good and bad. Good because I'm getting some engagement from yourselves, and I really do appreciate that. And of course, my own personal goal is to respond to each of you. And I can't say I'll respond to every comment, but those of you that have multiple comments will get at least one response. The other thing I wanted to thank you for was all the likes. So most of the videos are getting quite a lot of likes, and that's encouraging. Sounds like I've got my run sheet for topics, meeting some of the fun ideas that you might have yourself. And then thirdly, to all the subscribers, we're getting up there now. I do need more subscribers, so if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. Have a look at a couple of other videos, and I don't bother you too much, a couple of times a week, with just my my life here in Vietnam and how things are going. What I do like about the subscribers is when they subscribe, they usually tell me a little bit about themselves. So if you could do that, that would be good. I get a comment about a lot of people that are coming to visit Vietnam for extended periods. Obviously the visa is an issue here, but people can come multiple times for multiple periods. So it's only a problem if you make it a problem. So thank you to those people as well. Now, let's get into it. So first things first, in my view, it's the cost of domicile. So wherever you're domiciling, what's the cost of domiciling there? And that means, how do you keep that financial freedom number as low as possible? So it usually involves looking at your expenses and finding expenses that are going out for no good return at all. And the one that I really like to focus on is bank fees. So clearly, every couple of weeks I've got to draw out a couple of $100, and I don't need the bank charging me $5 for the pleasure. So I have arranged my banking so that the bank that I use to withdraw money from the money machine here in Vietnam doesn't charge me any fees, and then secondly, my bank doesn't charge me any foreign currency transaction fees. So if I withdraw $200, I get the ruling rate, which is a reasonable rate. I get the full amount in my hand. I don't have any extra fees coming out. I did test this recently, where the machine asked me if I wanted to translate my withdrawal to my own currency, which was going to be $360, or leave it and let my bank do it down the track. And I left it for my bank. I don't translate stuff at random teller machines. and it was $320, so I was $40 a head straight there. So no banking fees is keeping the costs down. If you can save a few bucks every week, that's quite a few bucks every year. And all of these smart ideas mean that your financial freedom number is a lot lower, and perhaps you'll only need to draw out money once a month rather than once a fortnight to buy your beer and burgers. So cost of domicile, what's it cost to run your life in your new country, and who's pinging you for fees to do that? Might wait for this fella. Bit of a pause there. I've walked away from the traffic. It's quite noisy when you're recording and you've got the traffic behind you. And walk straight past some aerobics people with a generator.
Xin được chào đón tất cả các anh chị. Các vận động viên chúng ta sẽ thay trong một tuần quy của một chút điểm.
And an announcement. The second thing that I really look at to keep my costs down is communication. I don't like to be spending $1 more than I have to on communicating, and so I get the best local SIM card that I can, whack that in my device, and for me I get enough gigabytes a day. I think it's 4 or 5 gigabytes a day for about $8 a month of data. Once you've got data, particularly in Indochina, you're good to go. And so that's what I live on. I live on my 4 and 5 gig a month when I'm out and about talking to you. It's wouldn't be $8 a month. And I do have Wi-Fi at home. That is about $20 a month. And that's a very fast internet. So keep the cost of communication down. Do not use your home SIM card when you're overseas. That is actual advice from Vietnam Steve. Unless you have, of course, money to burn. If you've got money to burn, nothing to do. The other thing that I found is useful is subscription to a VoIP type arrangement where you can pay $20-25 a month, unlimited calls to any phone number in the world. So if you are doing some remote connecting to friends and colleagues and you're talking on the phone a lot, as opposed to WhatsApp, WeChat, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Messenger, iMessage, etc., and you actually need a telephone, you could buy a VoIP service for $20 or $30 a month and have unlimited calls. So keep that call costs down. So get rid of your banking fees and get your SIM card as low as possible, really lowering those outgoings. This is the main square of Ha Long. We've had a few festivals down here. As you can see, it's all set up over there. And one thing they do is bring in everyone's on the Wi-Fi. They bring in the mobile Wi-Fi stand. So this little sucker here obviously connects to the phone network and helps the 3,000 or 4,000 people that come down for the party communicate. A couple of relics from the American War over here. Lovely lady reclining on the bench here. A couple of anti-aircraft rockets, and of course an Air Force plane. A gentleman exercising in front of a machine gun here, and then some older relics of previous wars where people have mistakenly tried to come to Vietnam, namely the French and China about 4 times. Here's another one for you, and looks like we've got a couple of things in the background here. I'll duck over and see what they are. All in all, Vietnam's a very peaceful country. Very rarely is the war mentioned. Of course, they look on it as the War of Independence rather than policing action or saving the world or whatever it was. These little guns here, artillery guns, look quite useful and look like they're in good working order and ready to go. This is near the library and the museum down here. So one of these black buildings is the museum, one of these is the library. Both worth a look. The library was difficult because all the books are in Vietnamese, but every book that you see in your Western bookshop you'll find here in Vietnam. Vietnam's in the top 10 of country populations in the world, so there's a lot of people here and most things get translated into Vietnamese. Now I do see a lot of YouTubers talk about VPNs. Obviously I do have a VPN. I pay less than the cost of a cup of coffee for that, and that makes sure that I've done everything I possibly can to protect myself when I'm online. I don't want other people out there being Vietnam Steve. One of us is enough. But I don't use it to watch Netflix, Prime, Stan, all those online streaming services. I think if you're moving to a foreign locale and you can't tear yourself away from Days of Our Lives, you probably need to have a good look at yourself and think, do I really want to go and explore the world, or should I stay in the basement and watch daytime TV? I don't have a streaming service that I use over here, all cancelled. That saves money every month. There's no cost going out for movies and stuff. In fact, I don't watch TV at all here, so that is a thing. Lo and behold, in every country I've been to, they have TV, so why you need a streaming service, I don't know. But that's another way to really keep the costs down. So look at those things that are coming out every month, and then just get rid of them. And if you get rid of enough of them, you might save $100 a month, which is $1,200 a year. So three quick things to stop the money drizzling out of the bank account. And I've got 3 things coming up as to what you might like to do to get a bit of extra coin in while you're traveling. And you know, if you're coming to Southeast Asia in particular, where I am here, most people in the world live within 4 kilometres of where I live. 4,000 kilometres. So, you know, some of you come from remote places, islands, back blocks of the world. When you get to Southeast Asia, it's a different world. Most people live close to you. There's more people living near me than living far away from me. So I find that I've got a lot to do. I don't need streaming services. I'm very well connected. I did see yesterday, to go from here to India is $100. Hanoi to India, $100. That's a pretty cheap airfare. So you can travel when you're in Southeast Asia to other Southeast Asian locales quite cheaply. So that's why it's important to cancel your streaming service, because you could probably afford a trip to India if you cancelled that for a year. Now stick with me. I'm going to continue walking along here. I just wanted to stop because this view was just magical. Cost me nothing. And tell you about 3 things you could do to try and get money into your bank account that helps you while you're living overseas. Now, second things second. You've got to know how much you need each month. Obviously, if you need $5,000 a month, you're going to have a different requirement for getting money in than if you're somebody that needs $1,000 a month. And so that's why I started off with the importance of driving those costs down, because if you keep those costs low, you need less coming in and the world becomes your oyster. So think about your own situation. I know some of you probably spend $5,000 a month, some of you probably spend $1,000 a month. And so there's going to be different stratospheres of what you might like to do to help offset your cost of living. I just walked over some paper money. What they do here is they throw paper money on the ground, and that is something to do with religion, ancestors, and good luck. The opposite is if you pick it up. So I won't say one of the things to make money is to pick up the money you see on the ground. It was 1,000 dong, and there's 20 of them to the dollar, so I reckon it was about 5 cents. That would be a way to make money, but please don't do that. Yeah, we continue on. 3 things to get money in. Now, number one is, and I do a little bit of this, is teaching English. So I've signed up with one of these online teaching English platforms. Message me down below if you'd like to know what I do, where I do, and how I do it. Doesn't really pay any money, but it is a fun thing to do. I can teach English to people that are trying to get ahead, and people that are trying to get ahead turn me on. It pays $11 an hour, so there you go. That's not gonna be good for some of you, but then if you did 5 hours a day, when you're sitting in your apartment watching streaming service, you could be getting in $55 a day. You do that for the month, and you've got yourself $1,500 for the month. Nothing else to do in life. If you have $1,500 a month in a horrible place like this, you can live. So think about online services that pay money for your skills. I have to say that most of the people I talk to don't really need an English lesson. What they want to do is have a conversation with somebody that speaks English and practice their English skills. All they need is some minor corrections when they make grammatical mistakes. So $11 an hour, not highly rated on the let's go to work and make money thing. But you know, if you're sitting around with 3 hours every day or 5 hours every day wondering what to do because it's raining, go online, teach English, make $55 in for the day, and 30 days later you've made $1,500. So that's probably the first one, and I put that first for me because it's a fun thing to do. That is a fun thing to do. The next couple are a bit more specific to what I do, but you could tailor them to your own needs. So what we've got here is hello. We've got seafood coming in from the bay, going into buckets on that motorbike there, and off to the seafood restaurant that I'm going to be going to for lunch in about 4 hours. So you do wonder if the seafood is fresh in Vietnam, and you've seen the bay behind me previously today. My take on it is, if you ate something from right here where I'm walking, it's probably not that fresh. But I do know that that seafood comes from a long way out, and I have been out there where you're in the bay and you can see the bottom as clear as day, so don't worry about that. Good example of fresh. When I say a long way out, it's probably an hour. So these islands extend a long way out into Ha Long Bay. A lot of people go swimming here, right near the edge. There's a lady swimming right there. I'm keen because I like the water, but I wouldn't put my head under, and I'm not sure why. There is a lot of rubbish in the bay here. It washes up on the edge, and that is a problem for Vietnam. But this lady is really enjoying a swim. And the interesting thing they do is they take like an empty milk bottle, you know, the 3-litre milk bottles, the gallon milk bottles, and they tie them to themselves. So if they do get a cramp while they're out there, the old dears, they've got something to hang on to. So the boat that dropped off the seafood is that little one there. He's heading back out, and he'll probably sleep up for the day now and go out again tomorrow night. Taking a bit of a turn here because I don't want you to think Halong Bay is all about the bay. This big shell-looking thing that I'm walking around, you've probably seen in the background a couple of times, is a convention centre, but I've never seen Taylor Swift there. They have a few food and wine festivals. They're pretty good. Everybody comes from provinces around, brings their local gear and sells it. Alrighty. The second thing you might want to do to make money is look at some sort of remote work back to where you've come from. If you're doing work in an office that you were forced to do from home during the plague, you've really got to consider whether that's going to be best for you going forward. All I'm saying is work from home is one thing, but if you're working from home, you could actually have a home anywhere. So if you're still working or you've come out of a corporate life, there's probably some things that you can do remotely to earn money. Now, I'm on some boards and committees back in my home country, and that allows me the flexibility to meet face to face with those people a couple of times a year, but also handle most of the requirements remotely. So I do get online every day and do a little bit, and that pays a considerable amount, more than teaching English, 30 times more per hour. So look at what you're doing in your home locale. Think about how that might operate remotely, and of course, you know, your cost of domicile in the USA, the UK, Canada, Australia is a lot harder. Life is a lot harder, a lot higher than the cost of domicile here. So, you know, if it's costing you $18,000 a year to maintain a house and a car where you live, you can probably come here and do that for 6. So you don't need to be working 40 hours a week in an office. You could be working 15 hours a week remotely and be making money while you're in a remote location. So that's the second one. The first thing I do is teach English. That's a fun thing to do. It helps me grow people. And I've met some interesting people, I have to say. The second thing I do is I'm on some boards and committees, which was my previous life. I've continued those on, so I get some part-time arrangements from those organisations. That's the second thing I do to bring some coin into the bank. It's not every day, but it's something to do in the downtime when I'm not watching my streaming services, which I don't have. So there's 2 things. Stick with me. I've got a final one, and then I'll let you go. The final thing that's useful for making money for me is training events. So I'm an expert in my former field, and I still get requests from people to provide them with some guidance and mentoring and coaching. And so I've set myself up to do a few presentations, probably not many, let's say 4 a year, 1 a quarter. And I do them either remotely or they fly me to the locale to do it. So if you've been doing whatever in your previous life, underwater basket weaving, there may be a case where you can engage with other people that were doing that and provide some skills transfer to them. It's more spasmodic, it's not as reliable, but it does provide a great outlet for coin coming in. Now, for a guy like me that's retired, coin coming in is much better than coin going out. So I'd encourage you when you come to Southeast Asia, obviously if you're coming with $5 million in the bank, you can just sit on your date and watch Days of Our Lives, but obviously there's more to life than that. I guess that's what I want to leave you with today. I really just wanted to encourage you to think about, how do I make sure I'm not drifting wealth away, and how do I keep topping up my wealth with my current skills? I hope that's helped you. I really look forward to your comments on this one, because I'm sure some of you have got great ideas of things I could consider. And like and subscribe to the video. Remember, the subscriptions are very important because I'm behind the 8 ball on subscriptions. Please give me some ideas in the comments of what you'd like to see in the next one, and stay frosty. And I had a final one I'm working on is I'm actually pulling a couple of books together. Now, I haven't got far on them, and I can't tell you whether they'll bring in any coin, but I've got 2 non-fiction projects underway. That's probably my problem. I've got 2 underway at once, and a work of fiction as well that's going to be a cracking story for you. If you'd like a little bit of insight around pulling a book together, let me know in the comments. Now that looks like something tasty for later on today. A dozen breadsticks. This one looks like a great place to try out a coffee. Note the bong in the corner there as you walk in. You could have a smoke as well. Worrying about petty theft in Vietnam, this shop has their provisions out on the footpath as well. That's what's going into the restaurant today. I'll try the flop Korean cuisine. Lots of pleasure. Flop won't divorce you, flop won't betray you, flop won't cheat on you, and flop won't fight with you. Become the type of energy that no matter where you go or where you are, you always add value to the spaces and lives of those around you. I'm going to get some of that in me.